love photography and you're shooting a bunch, but how do you turn this into a career? In this video, I want to talk about how to refine your style and identify the photography life of your dreams. Not just photography, but the kind of photography business you want to run. Let's talk about the day you want to have, who you already know locally, the interactions you want to have, how much time you want to spend in front of a computer, and how much money you want to make and how you are going to make it. Hi, I'm Kate Byers. If we haven't met yet, I've been a photographer for 15 years, and now I teach photographers how to start and grow their own photography business. I started out in weddings, I landed in high-end portrait photography, and today as a single mom, I've chosen to do mini sessions as my main source of photography income. I made this change because I needed a lifestyle shift, and so I really believe in making your photography business fit your life and your personality. And that's exactly what we're going to go over in this video. I want to flesh out a few things that I already know about photography that you should know about photography so that you can choose the best pathway for you as you move forward in thinking about opening your photography business. Number one is the day that you want to have. Now, this is a big one. That's why I'm putting it first. It's super important. A lot of photographers that I know, including myself, we just jumped into photography, into the kind of photography we knew about, but then the fit didn't end up being very good. So let me give you an example. I thought that I wanted to be a high-end wedding photographer. My first year of business, I said, I want to be one of the top 10 wedding photographers in the world. I love those luxury weddings. Let me at it. But, small hitch, I am an introvert. And while I loved shooting my brides and grooms and the florals and the bling, and they were so fun to hang out with, I really kind of get pooped by like 5 or 6 hours of shooting. And weddings tend to be 12 to 16-hour days. There were brides that I met, they started getting ready at 4 a.m. and I was there at 5 a.m. And then we did not shut that day down until 1 a.m. So those days can be extremely long. And during the day, you've got to be on. You got to be smiling. You got to be directing traffic. You've got to be creating the moment. So for me, ultimately, I shot weddings for a few years and then I just thought, this is draining me beyond what I can do. So I think that maybe this kind of photography is not my kind of photography. But I have friends who are extroverts, and by the time we hit that ballroom at 8 or 9 p.m., they were dancing with the bride, they were having the best time of their life. That portion of the day was revving them back up to their high energy space, and so they're perfectly built for wedding photography. Now, I will say all photographers do not shoot all day long. A lot of our life as photographers is spent editing, marketing, doing random kind of boring admin, emailing clients. Our weeks are most of the time not all shooting. In fact, I usually recommend that you start thinking about your week as a photographer with the 80-20 principle. 20% of your week is shooting and doing photography type activities that generate income. And then the rest of the week, the 80%, is spent on the back end, like the machinery that really causes your business to go forward and causes new clients to find you and for you to book. So I want you to think about that day. Do you want to be in a 3 or 4 hour posed newborn session? And that's your shoot time during the week? Do you want to be doing weddings? Do you want to do mini sessions like I do, where you shoot about 10 weekends per year? And when I say weekends, Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and that's your full-time income? What is it that you want to do shooting-wise? Because the rest of the week is going to be back-end admin. And I want you to think about, are you going to edit or not? So at this point, I have editors. I had to pass off my editing because I really just have too much to fill up my week between shooting and then all the back-end admin and marketing tasks. But a lot of photographers, myself included, really like to edit and get those images that you just shot and see what they look like and modify them and go in Lightroom or Photoshop and just finish the process. The next thing that I want you to think about is your local ties in your community. This is similar to time, and it has to do with time. But if you are going to lead the life that you want to lead as a photographer, you're probably somewhere that you don't like a 9 to 5, or I don't know, maybe another creative career, and you're wanting to head to photography because you think it will be the answer, please take this local tie bit into consideration. If it's really important to you to show up at your church community group every Wednesday night, or if it's really important to you to attend your child's sports game on Saturday or Sunday morning, you need to think really hard about if this photography career is going to take that all away from you, or if you can condense your photography to certain shoot times so that it doesn't take too much of that away from you. Now, I chose mini sessions as a single mom because I need my shoot time to condense way down to these certain hours where I have some childcare, but I really don't want it to spread out all throughout the year and every single weekend. And if you want to work on weekdays, actor headshots, corporate headshots, those are great because they can never occur on weekends if you don't want them to. They can all happen during business hours. You can shoot in the mornings, edit in the afternoons, and then you're pretty much done for evenings and weekends. All right, now the third thing is interactions. How do you feel energized interacting with people? Because in photography, you have a lot of options for how this plays out. If you are energized by people and you're like, yes, put me by people all day long, then I'm going to recommend things like portrait photography, wedding photography, headshot photography, anything where you really need to talk to your subject and develop a relationship, and that is what is going to give you those good images. Now, if you don't like being with people, then architectural, real estate, product, those are kinds of photography where you're basically in a room with your subject and your subject is not talking to you because your subject is the room, or your subject is like a can of soda or something sitting right there. Or nature photojournalism. You are going out in the field, you may have a buddy with you, but it's just kind of like you, your cameras, your lenses, and the chimps, or the birds, or the elephants, or the giraffes. So that's another big reason that I chose mini sessions as my primary photography income, because I am an introvert and I am a mom. So I can really get that coffee and go for it and get out in the field and be charming for 5 or 6 hours. But then I need a break and my favorite coffee shop and a matcha and nobody talk to me. So that's me. All right, then I want you to think about the edit that you want. Do you love being in front of a computer manipulating your images? If you do, then you can become known for a sort of higher retouch look. On my end, my look is actually very natural. There's not a whole lot of complication to it, so I feel pretty good about passing that off to editors. But I have known other photographers where the artistry of the image really depended on their touch and their edit style that they personally did themselves. If you are really into your retouch, then that is going to take up a lot of your week, and that will be computer time alone, or I don't know, you could co-work with a buddy or even turn on a movie. But just think about how that time is going to play out and what a good balance is going to be for you. And last is money. I want you to think about the number that is going to make you happy. So listen, in photography, there is an enormous range of what people charge and make. I know of one wedding photographer, which, oh man, I love her work. She's about $50K per wedding. And I don't imagine that she shoots very many of them per year because there's a lot of planning and travel and attention to detail and really customer service that goes into those weddings. But then I also know other photographers who are stay-at-home moms. This is a part-time job for them, and they're very happy with their 50K because this 50K is just going on the vacation fund, or it's funding dance for their daughter or something like that. So I want you to think long and hard of what your dream number is. And listen, there is no shame in having a smaller dream number than somebody else next door in your town, or you know of somebody in your town that's $1 million a year photographer. There's no shame in saying, I have a lower number than that because a good life for me doesn't look like their life. All right, so I know that this is a lot of questions for you. I would suggest just sitting down in your favorite coffee shop or maybe at home with a cup of tea and writing all of this out and keeping it somewhere that you can refer back to later. I find that having these written down filters, long copy, that tell me exactly what I was thinking at the time really help me to make strategic decisions as I go along and build the business that I'm hoping to build versus me just reacting in space and time and making a non-strategic decision. If you're just starting out and you need a checklist and some way to condense everything that you need to get done this year, I do have a freebie for you. It's my first year photographer checklist, and it's linked below for you to download. Now, if mini sessions sound like the kind of business that you want to run, I do have a really inexpensive course for you called the High-End Mini Session Blueprint, which will help you chase down the kinds of clients that I shoot, which are they spend a little bit more, but it's still a great deal for them, great price for them, and you can make a full-time income on about 10 weekends per year. It's linked below, and it's called the High-End Mini Session Blueprint. Guys, I do drop a video a day, so subscribe so you get the notification for the next one. All my videos are about how to start and grow your photography business, so I will see you tomorrow.